But every team he's ever had always plays really, really well at the end.
We're about ready to get started as Max Strigoyev starts off service for UC Irvine. Gets a whistle, goes cross court, pass by Wallace. Errant pass, saved by Walmer as he goes over. Bianchi sets it over, picked up by Darcy. Shoot out to Heno, who's blocked at the net, covered by, I believe that was Schuer that got it. Heno gets a set right back. Dug by Walmer, saved by Wallace. Right side, Bianchi. Bianchi chops it in between the seam of Heno and Campbell.
This is just the beginning of what you're going to see all night. Santa Barbara's going to dig and dig and dig. That's what Santa Barbara has always done. And then with a big lefty over there to terminate, that's going to be the finish of it.
That brings Jess Bianchi, who's having an incredible season, first year for UC Santa Barbara. Out of Laguna Beach, California, right down PCH. Ball's passed by Tangatur, shoot in the middle to Campbell. Goes off the block of Arroyo, and Wallace made a valiant effort, but still falls.
Yeah, that was... Campbell's got that little, he turns the wrist away at the last second, gets it right off the middle blocker's hand, and then right off of Joe Wallace's hand.
That brings Brett Sheward back to serve off a phenomenal week and hitting opposite hitter on the final night. Walmer sets outside of court, who's blocked, covered by the Gauchos, back out to court, and tools it off of Darcy and the antenna. Point going to the Gauchos, smart play by Court. Not a whole lot of daylight left for him with that block of Campbell and Darcy.
Yeah, they should have turned this outside hand. Will had the hand straight up instead of turning it.
That brings Ben Court back to serve for the first time, a 6'4" redshirt sophomore. Outside hitter from Hermosa Beach. Little topspin serve pass by Power. Sheward back to Heno. Heno up, and away. That's amazing because Arroyo and Berg are huge, and he hit over that block.
I was lucky enough to be in Hawaii with this team, and the Sunday night match, we've seen Heno very good all year and getting better and better each match, but Sunday was tremendous. 36 kills, 40 points total.
Heno at the service line, ball's passed by Wallace. Walmer looks, shoots back row to court, dug by Power. Sheward looks, goes high ball left side over towards Tangatur off the block. Jess Bianchi on the hand pass. Wallace outside over to Berg. Berg through the block, saved by Campbell, picked up by Darcy. Heno takes a rip and misses long. That's only point number 3.
Yeah. You're going to be tired by tonight. I'm going to tell you right now, these rallies are going to go like that one did.
It's great volleyball because there's some great coverage. If you are a juniors player watching this, and see what these teams are doing. They are very disciplined.
Yeah, just because there's 3 blockers in front, that doesn't mean the rally's over.
Darcy gets his first set, knocks it down, little off-speed shot. Point going to UC Irvine.
Great vision by Will Darcy. They went into a strict cross-court defense, and he saw it in the air, just turned the ball down, took a little off it, put it back in area 5, the deep corner.
Connor Campbell back to serve for UC Irvine. Campbell, the 6'7" sophomore or junior middle blocker from San Diego. Backside set over to Bianchi, and stepping in to take it was Sheward, and ricochets out of play.
Yeah, Bianchi hits. He has such that big whippy left arm, and he hits the ball deep and flat like that from a high level. And if you're not deep enough and you're not ready enough, it's very, very difficult to dig.
That brings a Walmer back to serve for UCSB. Walmer, the 6'3" redshirt junior setter from Manhattan Beach, also Maricosta High School. Heno, tight pass saved by Sheward, and we have a beyond the net violation called against Santa Barbara.
No part of the ball had crossed the net, and Bianchi reached over and touched it, which is all you have to do. That's an over violation.
Great camera work by our ESPN Plus crew as Darcy dishes out an ace. Little 3/4 speed spin serve.
This is how he performed against Grand Canyon and against Lewis on Thursday, Friday in Hawaii. He just has stepped it up a notch on everything. Serving, defense, he had 11 digs.
Tough serve, hand pass by Wallace. Walmer backsets to Berg, and he bangs it with a one-on-one block.
Berg, they're in row 1, so Berg's on the right. Realize Berg is a former opposite now playing outside, so that's a pretty natural shot for him.
Berg's a 6'8" redshirt sophomore, opposite and outside from Thousand Oaks. Back to serve, goes and hits a hybrid. Down the line, there's Heno, perfect pass. Sheward back to Darcy. Darcy denied by Court, and Court's fired up. Point going to the Gauchos. Court is another one of those Maricosta boys, staying at 6'4", redshirt sophomore outside.
You know, Santa Barbara has always had Miracosta and Loyola, and lots of them.
Berg floats it over towards Heno, hand pass. Sheward sets middle to Grigoriev, and he winds up, swings, ricochets off the net. Berg takes a rip off the block, covered by Sheward, picked up by Grigoriev, and Tangatur hits it into the net. That ball was hit so hard, it ricocheted and slingshot into the net, but was still in play on the Gaucho side.
Yeah, except it caught Tangatur with no approach, so he wasn't able to get a good approach on that ball.
7-5, Berg to the service line again. A little hybrid over towards Heno. Sheward goes in the middle of Grigoriev. Grigoriev paints the end line. Point going to UC Irvine. Grigoriev looking good early on. 2 quick sets, 2 quick attacks.
Happy to let you know that he was all tournament at the Outrigger tournament.
Akil Tangator serving, goes cross court, pass by Berg. Walmer looks, shoots it out to court. Court swings high and hard, dug by Power, saved by Sheward. Darcy's going to get a swing, goes high, dug by Berg. Walmer sets it high ball to court, see what he does. Tips over the block, swatted by Grigoriev, covered by Wallace. And Heno drops it, dug by Berg, set by court, right side over Bianchi. Bianchi off the block, and talk about never say die defense.
Play great defense, great coverage. The one thing you have to do with Jess Bianchi is wait on him. That arm swing is long and comes all the way around. You get caught, especially on a ball a little deeper off the net, you get caught getting up too early.
That brings Sam Meister, the 6'5", redshirt sophomore, middle back to serve. Perfect pass by Tangator in the middle to Grigoriev, and a little wind up, and the swing is Grigoriev.
So quick and so quick off his feet, and then his arm just comes around so fast.
Weighs in area 2, and that in part of the rotation comes by like the flash on the quick approach.
Yep.
That brings Grigoriev back to serve for Irvine, trailing 7-8 here in set number 1. Ball's passed by Wallace on the tough serve, court hand sets. Bianchi denied at the net, triple trouble by Sheward, Campbell, and Heno.
I think Heno actually got that, just turned it in so well.
Well, I always got to credit the setter, Charlie. You know that.
Yeah, you do like the setter.
Grigoriev back to serve, tied up at 8 apiece here in set number 1. Grigoriev winds up, goes cross court, pass by Berg. Broken out of system play. Jess Bianchi gets a set from court, dug by Tangator. Sheward back to Darcy. Darcy winds up and splits the defenders in the back row.
His eye work is so good. Darcy, as he's approaching, watch, he just takes a look at the defense and nails it right down the seam.
That's a 6'10" sophomore from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Grigoriev back to serve. It goes off the cable, pass by Berg. Walmer outside over to court. Court's blocked in the net by Campbell, and it drops on the line. Point going to UC Irvine. They take a 2-point lead up 10-8. Great looking block by Campbell, and Sheward getting that outside pin.
Sheward is a surprisingly intelligent blocker, gets up a lot higher than you would think, for a former libero especially.
Well, we saw him back in his Olu days.
I saw him back in his 12 and under days.
The pre-beard days, we'll just call it that.
Way pre, yeah, way more than pre.
Grigoriev back to serve, up 10-8 here in set number 1. Grigoriev on a scoring run here. Ball's passed by Court. Walmer outside the court again. He's denied, covered by Meister. Free ball coming over by Berg. Hand pass by Tangator. Sheward back to Darcy. Darcy blocked, but a long distance tool the length of the court.
Wow.
And we got a timeout.
Been able to get in front of them and take them down, but Santa Barbara's been digging a lot of balls.
Well, interesting enough, Josh Aruya, their star middle, right now has 0 attempts so far. And it's not that the passing has been bad by Santa Barbara, it's just the Irvine block has been good. Another tough serve, and Grigoriev deals an ace from a deck. That thing had to be upwards of 70 miles per hour.
Grigoriev just keeps improving, as does Darcy, even Heno. They're all just getting better and better and better.
For Grigoriev, that's ace number 18 on the season, averaging .22 aces per set. But That's more of a, as of late in the last 5 or so matches, that Grigoriev has really turned up the heat.
Yeah, I told you, I remember watching him float serve all last year, and I went to the gym in September to watch him practice, and all of a sudden he's ripping this jump serve, and I go, what is that? And he goes, got to keep improving.
Grigoriev again, passed by Berg off the net. Walmer goes back to Bianchi. Bianchi sizzles it through the block, but dug by Darcy. Sheward on the quick to Heno, off the block, covered by Bianchi, and making a huge effort was Berg. There was a slight chance I was going to stay in play.
I'll tell you, that's what Heno does so well. You see how, watch his arm. He just kind of pulls back and then pushes it when the block's on the way down and finds those hands coming down. But just Bianchi made a great play to even get his hands on that.
That brings Grigoriev back to the service line again. Almost pass out of play, broken play, swinging his court, dug by Grigoriev. One hand set by Campbell, but a double denial by Bianchi and Arroyo. There was no air to breathe on that attack.
Arroyo was just trying to get, he was on his way to block Campbell and saw him set it, just kept going and got him.
Well, Campbell was looking at the Santa Barbara blockers. You like that one hand set? And he was smiling at him.
Yeah.
9 serving to 13. Bianchi back to serve, goes cross court. Heno, high pass. Sheward looks, shoots in the middle of Campbell, tip, and it grabs a sideline. It looked like Bianchi was about 2 steps too far inside.
Well, Campbell hits the first one this way, wrist away, and then he brings that one back off speed towards the sideline. Good combination of shots.
Brett Sheward back to serve for the Anteaters. Sheward, one of the top 3 setters in the nation, assists per set wise. And Heno winning the joust on the tight pass, 15-9.
I'd love to be able to see that again. He just waited and let Walmer hit it first, and then he was able to watch. He'll wait, and then he'll just keep his hands on it longer and push it down.
Sheward 10.51 assists per set. That's good for 3rd in the nation. Shoots it over to Arroyo, dug by Tangatur. Sheward goes back to Darcy. Darcy doing a little backyard barbecue action.
There you go with that backyard barbecue. What in the world does that mean?
Well, Charlie, that's a very, very hotly cooked ball.
Oh, okay.
Sheward on the serve, goes across court over to Berg, bad pass, and Darcy knocks it off of Walmer, saved by Court, back to Bianchi. Bianchi drops it off the cable, dug up and over by Sheward, picked up by Wallace, set back to Bianchi, off the block, Power there on the save. Sheward gets underneath it, sets outside to Heno. Heno denied, triple trouble by Court, Arroyo, and Walmer.
Heno's a little late getting up. He doesn't have that same explosiveness that he had in Hawaii, and so he's hitting cross court in that double block. He needs to hit the ball a little later and higher.
10 serving to 16. It brings Ben Court back to serve for UCSB. Court with 1 kill and 2 block assists. Ball's passed by Power, shoots it over to Darcy's blocked at the net, and Walmer gets a solo stuff.
Santa Barbara's blocking has really stepped up here in the last 3 or 4 points. They're starting to get a read on the Irvine hitters and making a good late block on them.
Well, Darcy's actually claiming responsibility for hitting that block. I think he went to go to Showtime on it instead of just putting it away.
That happens.
Ball's passed by Heno. Sheward goes outside to Darcy again, rolls it over the top. Hand pass by Court. Walmer outside over to Berg. Tip dug by Sheward. Power hand sets left side over to Darcy. Dug by Berg, picked up by Walmer, high ball to the left pin, swings hard and finds the empty real estate. It looked like they were trying to funnel him into that only spot, and Power shifted in from that left sideline.
Not sure why Power ran behind the block rather than
3.5, or actually two and a half
yes.
for Heno.
Yeah.
But Heno's kind of slowed down from the beginning of the season. He's averaging .88 aces per set at the end of the year. Last year, he's at .44 right now.
Right.
So back to serve out of timeout as Ben Court goes cross court, passed by Heno. Sheward goes back to Heno. Heno slices and dices. That block came out wide, and he took all advantage.
That lift, we slowed it. We had a slow-mo of him at the last San Diego match. He lifts that arm, he gets it up there, and then he makes his turn. Watch the turn away from the block and inside the block down.
The 2-2 termination as Heno goes back to serve.
Nice.
Heno rips it down the line, pass by Wallace, tight joust, and a great tool by Walmer. Aspiring setters. Oh, we got to be on the net violation, but still, Walmer had the right idea. Subbing in for the first time is Dominic Lang, the 6'1" redshirt junior serving specialist from Los Angeles, California. Santa Monica High School, 13 served to 17. Lang goes down the line over towards Power. Seward sets middle to Campbell, and that's one great story. It's Campbell, how his game has improved every year.
He has improved every week so far hitting-wise. That angle was really, really good.
Aria checks back in for Lang on the Gaucho side, and the Connor substitution on the Irvine side. That's Connor Dom in for Connor Campbell. Dom in for defensive and serving purposes. Connor Dom sporting the Iceman look from Top Gun. Campbell hits line and looks like it's an ace here. Ben Court with a great effort at the net. As he apologized to us, I thought I was catching an athlete here in play.
Yeah, I had my hands down. Our monitor's off. Now it's back on.
Got to wipe though, but hey, that's the one thing about this Santa Barbara team. They are so gritty. They go for everything, and they're scrappy. Yeah, so gritty, always. Scrappy, and can play.
Always, Rob, always. That's the UC Santa Barbara and grittiness are the same.
13 served at 19. Ben Court again, Maricosta High School. Man, there are a lot of Maricosta kids that were playing for state championships here and Southern Section championships on this team.
And ironically, they were playing against Newport Harbor, who has a lot of players playing also.
Tom back to serve at 19-13. Let's see what he does on this next serve. A little hybrid with more pace on it, but that one misses long. Point going to the Gauchos. That brings Walmer back to serve. Almost said Tim Walmer, because his dad is Tim Walmer, former AVP great.
We had a visit from Tim Walmer before the broadcast. It was always good to see Tim.
Looking like he
lots of energy on that man.
He can sandbag on some old man courts for sure. He's looking in great shape.
I'm sure he still does.
Walmer, tough serve, almost an overpass, saved by Seward, outside Tegetour, and somehow gets it by Bianchi, who was pressing over the net so far.
Well, it was such, it was an area 4 over there, so close, and he set it really, really low. Yeah, but Akil knew it, got it really early.
Darcy back to serve, pass by Wallace, tight pass, and rejecting it easily is Grigoriev. Point Irvine.
Great patience by Grigoriev. He waited to see what was going to happen with Walmer, and when he realized he was back row.
And checking in for the first time is the 6'8" redshirt fresh middle blocker, Beck Weber from Long Beach, California, Los Alamitos High School. I think he's going to block right side.
He's blocking middle. Max Grigoriev's going left.
Goes off the top. Seward on the joust, and winning out on the joust versus Meister is Seward.
Again, Seward just held it longer than Meister did. Kept his hand on it and wouldn't drop it. This is interesting because now you've got Grigoriev on the left.
Weber in the middle and Seward on the right.
Yep.
Well, Seward did hit outside in Hawaii. Might as well go with it.
Yeah.
And service ace for Darcy. Point going to the Anteaters, and for Darcy, that's ace and number 12, I believe. Actually, ace number 8. I was looking at Seward's ace numbers.
Yeah.
23 serving to 14. That is a dirty ace winner when it hits the cable and trickles over like that. Darcy, tough serve, overpass. Darcy on the free ball pass. Seward sets outside to Grigoriev, and Grigoriev just doing it all tonight.
He's got it all season long. All season long. Great set. Great quick set by Brett Seward. Actually, when you look at it, it's just a pickup from Will Darcy. This 6'10" guy comes in and controls it right at the net.
Set point serving to 14. Darcy takes a rip, and that's an ace off the center. Walmer, who is going to his position at the net, gets hit by the ball. Point in set number 1 going to UC Irvine as they take the first 25-14 and go up 1-0 in our best. Walmer starts off the second with the spin serve, goes down the line. Saved by Power, set by Seward, right side, Darcy. Darcy looping it, dug by Walmer. Stepping underneath is Jaden Glenn in at the libero position as we get another souvenir on the court.
That's a nice chip by Jess Bianchi, just finding the outside elbow of Hiller, you know.
Look at that, Rick McLaughlin's put in Sam Collins, a hit outside now for the Gauchos. The 60 redshirt junior outside, also from Maricosta High School.
This is a recording.
Walmer goes cross court and just duck, dive, dodge, dip, and dodge is Cole Power.
That's easy for you to say.
Well, it's one of the top 2 greatest movies of all time, Charlie.
Oh, wow.
People are going, what does this guy watch? Lower the bar. Master Grigoriev back to serve, tied up at 1 apiece. Grigoriev on the evening, 4 kills, 0 errors, hitting .800. Cross court serve, pass tight. Walmer on the set, back row, a little miscommunication. Court sets it over, picked up by Darcy. Short out to Heno. Heno slaps it through the uprights. Dug by Glenn, saved off the net by Walmer, but apparently got a little bit of his platform on the net. He's telling Patsy Malta, the R2, that he didn't touch it, and they're going to challenge it. So we do have our first challenge of the night, a CRS challenge, or the challenge review system by head coach of Santa Barbara, Rick McLaughlin. There was no net on the play.
You know, it kind of looks like he touched it with his thumb, yeah, just after he passed it.
You know what, the ball looked like it was still on the platform, but I mean, we need a lower view. Either inconclusive or it was correct first time around.
I think it was correct. I promise you, his hand.
He was off.
What?
That view showed he was off the net. Look at this right here. He didn't follow through his ball. He didn't even touch it.
Wow.
So 2 serving to 1. Grigoriev back to serve for Irvine. Goes off the cable. Walmer on the save and make that another ace for Grigoriev.
It's really, really exciting to watch the philosophy Irvine has serving-wise. Every guy there goes back and attacks it, but with efficiency. And so you just put so much pressure on the other team. Here's a team that they're in rotation 1. They have their #1 hitter, front left, and they can't get him the ball because these serves are so tough. They keep getting the ball off the net.
So for Grigoriev, that's ace number 2. That's 19 on the season. He's averaging .22 for the year. And he's surprisingly the second best server on the Irvine squad right now.
Not surprising when you've watched him.
Grigoriev winds up again. He takes his position at the end line, takes the rip, takes a little off it. Walmer has to pass it. Jaden Glenn sets left side over to Bianchi. Bianchi with his offhand hits it into the cable. That ball was just too inside for a southpaw.
Well, the Irvine, they were lucky. The Irvine block was up way, way too early. But I think just slow approach, yeah. And those arms were back.
4 serve to 1 early on here in the second set. Grigoriev on a serving run, and that looks good. And we are going to get a challenge from Coach David Niffen. Of course, the CRS challenge, first for UC Irvine, and Coach Niffen that the ball was in.
You know, both teams are allowed 3, and Santa Barbara just used 1 of theirs and lost it, so now they have 2. Irvine has 3. We'll see what happens here on the call.
Yeah, I saw in the corner, like coffin corner, and even with some room to spare. So I was shocked it's called out as quickly as it was. Looking at lengthy, Collins lets it go. Oh, the tape of the top tape got in the way from our view. It was really close, though. Do we have an inline view? I'm trying to remember our camera system here, Charlie. It's been a while since we've been in the Brent.
Right.
Our first match back in the Bren since the UCLA and USC matches. So that's 4 weeks ago, almost. Looks like challenge is successful. Point is reversed, goes to UC Irvine. You know what? Actually, there's hope for me because I thought I had bad eyes. Actually, they put the score the wrong way. They gave UC Santa Barbara their 3rd point. It should be 5-1, I believe. So we need to correct that score. I believe you're seeing on the broadcast the incorrect score. Grigoriev winds up again. That one misses long, and now it's 5-2 after the service there. But that was a great run by Max Grigoriev. Getting 3 aces now.
Now we're going to see Sam Collins serving for the first time tonight. He's got a great serve, great ball control, typical Manhattan Beach player.
Crucial in that upset win over #1 UCLA. He dropped that walk-off ace for the winner. Heno on the pass, Sheward back to Darcy. Darcy over the block, dug by Glenn. Set to the right side to Bianchi, covering is Sheward. Hand set by Power back to Heno. Heno goes to the right hand, dug by Walmer. Glenn gets another attempt on the assist. Bianchi's denied at the net by Sheward, Campbell, and Heno.
Yeah, the block hit hit Bianchi on the head, and then he tried to dig it. So that's where the double contact comes from.
6 serve net 2, and that was a lot of block on that side by the 6'8 Campbell and the 6'8 Heno. Another chop serve by Sheward, pass by Collins, back set over to Bianchi, dug by Sheward, bump set by Power right side to Darcy. Darcy over the top, point going to UC Irvine. The 6'10 Darcy just swinging away at the triple block.
You look at the set distribution, and before pre-Darcy, it was Heno, Heno, Heno a lot. Now you've got even distribution between the two of them, so you're able to split the court.
And slinging it on the backside as Walmer. Bianchi coming in quick and goes cross court on the winner.
Yeah, beats the block before Campbell could get there.
And that was a quick back set. And why not when you got one of the top 3 hitters in the nation as your right side?
He's left-handed, you know that. Oh.
Going back to serve for the first time is Owen Longcar, the 6'3 sophomore outside from Loyola, believe it or not.
That's
Pacific Palisades.
Yep.
So we have great
Michael Boley does a tremendous job at Loyola, and with his club that filters a lot into Loyola.
Always a good group from that South Bay area, though.
Yeah, very competitive. It's a major sport in that area.
Longcar delivers, but goes into the net. Point going to UC Irvine.
Jaden Glenn in at libero.
Jaden Glenn, CDM, Corona Del Mar High School, less than a mile and a half from here.
Father was a longtime Newport Harbor coach, and mom was a longtime counselor. But what he adds fire, intelligence, and fire to the game.
Service in the net by Hilaire Heno. Point going to UCSB, which brings Jess Bianchi back to serve. For looking at 8, Bianchi on the evening, 5 kills, but only hitting 125. Irvine paying a lot of attention to Bianchi. Ball's passed by Heno. Sheward goes back to Darcy, and Arroyo clamps down and turns out the lights with the assist going to Betancourt.
That's a very, very tough set to hit coming from behind him, and it's a little inside with 2 big blockers in front. It's hard to hit that ball without hitting it down like that.
Well, Santa Barbara, one of the top recruiting classes in the nation, a lot of it due to Josh Arroyo, that freshman middle. Yep. Sheward goes back to Heno. Heno winds up down the pipe and puts it away.
They've been running the play, not quite as successfully as they like, but that time he got real good wrist snap on it.
And it seemed slower than normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's the 4 matches in the last 7 days, Charlie.
That could be it, or maybe they're just trying to work on the timing. Oh.
Lift called on the attack. It was every single ball was low on that last series.
That's how you run an offense. Set, set, set. Just set all 3 of them.
10 serving to 5. Looked like that ball just died as it cleared the net off of Connor Campbell's serve. See if he does it again on the hybrid. Hand pass by Glenn. Walmer, one hand, and with a little magic trick is Jack Walmer.
Walmer, what's he doing? Tipping in front of the 6'8 middle blocker.
Smart looking play by the 6'3 setter.
Yep, very, very, very smart play.
Dropping it in no man's land, area 4. 6 serving to 10. That brings Betancourt back to serve for the Gauchos. Heno on the pass. Sheward shoots it out to Tangatur, and he dropped it down the line off of court and or.
That's such a nice
Bianchi.
shot. He goes up with his arm, looks like he's going to go hard seam, and then just curls it down the line. Just curls it right up and down the line. Surprises the defense over there.
Looked like Court would have had the best chance at it, but Bianchi wanted to get a dig off
Bianchi
of that.
cut in front of him, yeah.
11 serving to 6. Darcy swings down the line and drops another ace. Point going to UC Irvine for Darcy. Get this, Charlie, ace number 4 on the night already.
He's just starting to get it all together.
He's stealing Heno's mojo is what he's doing.
They're both tremendous players.
Darcy back to serve for the Anteaters, floats it over towards Glenn. Walmer sets middle, Arroyo dug by Darcy, but too low for Sure to get to. Smart play by Josh Arroyo, the freshman middle.
It's interesting, as I've said, I go to a lot of practices, and when a player doesn't really make a move for a ball, Coach Niffen takes the bucket and just throws 5 or 6 balls out and gets them on the floor. He's done that with Darcy a lot of times, and you can see the result. The product is he's so good on defense for a 6'10" guy.
Because there's a lot of distance to cover to get down to the floor for a 6'10". I wouldn't know that, but
yeah, you wouldn't. But he knows that work of getting used to the floor is what allows him to be good defensively.
13 serving to 7. That brings Tengator back to the service line. He goes cross court. Ball's passed by Glenn. Shoots it by Walmer. Beautiful set over to Longcar. I love that shoot set off the net. That's the circa Japan national team days back in the 80s.
Grigoriev had already shot outside and left a big hole.
Yeah, certain club coach told me, feed your middles.
Yes.
Heno passes off the net, out of system play, out to Heno again on the give and go. Dug by Glenn off the block, saved by Court. Bianchi takes a rip, dug by Darcy. Stewart sets Darcy on his give and go, and he knocks it wide. Point going to UC Santa Barbara.
One of the things that Darcy does is he likes that outside approach over there. So he tries to go down the line with it, and then your elbow, see how the ball, his elbow was out and just took the ball wide instead of swinging with his elbow inside down the line.
That brings Walmer back to serve for UCSB. Walmer with 7 assists on the night. Serve misses just long. Point going to the Anteaters, 14-9.
Cole Powers' game of dodgeball has really improved. He's doing a good job.
Again, top 2 movie of all time, Charlie. He's watched it a few times. Grigoriev on the night, 3 aces so far. See if he can add on. He's been serving so tough. Grigoriev goes cross court, passed by Glenn. Walmer on the pipe over to Court, who knocks it off the block of Campbell.
And Connor had a good shot at that. He read that play pretty well.
Court coming in out of the back row with a heavy swing, and you're right, Campbell with a good read, just hands turned the wrong way.
He waited, didn't jump on the quick, and then reached out. You almost have to turn that back a little bit more.
Sam Collins back to serve, goes into the net. Point going to UC Irvine.
Irvine's doing they're playing with the same momentum that they played with in Hawaii, which was excellent. There's no letdown on it, and that's what you like to see. Just continual effort at, playing at the highest level they can.
Stewart back to serve to start off out of the timeout. Good pass by Collins. Walmer back to Bianchi, and they run a little back two, and he hammers it right in area 4, just outside the 10-foot line. That's a little shake and bake action.
That was a pretty good blocking move by Heno to get in there on it. He just needed to block a little lower and got a little more seam on that thing.
11 serving to 15. Longcar gets an ace off of Tengator. That looked weird because he got his platform in front of it, but pulled back.
Yeah, there's neither Cole nor Akil are big talkers. And that's a ball that looked like there was a little confusion on who should take it.
12 serving to 15. Longcar goes towards Power this time. Stewart in the middle of Campbell. Campbell knocks it in front of Longcar. And should we comment on middle blockers playing defense?
I've said what I feel. I think it's a great shot by Connor Campbell. Find that seam. Look at the hole in the block.
Find the seam. Find the middle playing defense.
Find the middle playing defense. Area middle.
Heno back to serve for Irvine. Little off speed. Ball's passed, I believe, by Glenn. Tipped by Rhea, blocked by Campbell, picked up by Walmer. Bianchi, D9, Campbell swats it out and puts it down. 17-12, and Campbell got the full brunt of that block.
That was a nice, both hands extended over. That was well done.
17 serving to 12. Hanno winds up, goes cross court, court passes over to Walmer, shoots at the Uruia, goes off the cable, but they're still saying there's a touch. Court gets another attempt, and he knocks it down the line for the winner. They're going to get a challenge here. No? I thought for sure. I thought Coach Nippen's going to challenge, but
he's nodding. He says that was the right call.
So Campbell immediately admitted it, and we got a huge challenge card being held up by our fans.
Yeah. The fans here at Irvine have really done a really creative job.
Bianchi goes back to the service line for the Gauchos and hits that one way long. It's like he lost it in the lights. He hit that more upward than actually downward. And there was very little topspin on it. And we got a substitution for Irvine.
Interesting. Campbell had a good serving run last time back, and now, but this is the normal sub. Connor Dom usually comes in at this time, usually for Connor Campbell.
Connor Dom, the 6'4" redshirt junior serving specialist from Danville, California, and Monte Vista High School. Steps back to serve. Hits a little spin down the line over towards court. Walmer back over to Bianchi. Bianchi off the block of Tangatur, but Tangatur got his waist into the net. Looked like he's trying to keep his balance.
Actually, it's Grigorov. Max came down and said, I netted.
I saw Campbell doing the limbo with the net. I thought maybe he'd hit it for sure. Back in comes Campbell for Dom, and Libero power checks in as Court goes back to the service line. Court on the night for UCSB, 3 kills, hitting 200s, got 2 digs and 3 block assists. Tough serve pass by Campbell. Sheward right side to Darcy. Darcy up and over the block again.
Yeah, Sam Collins, who's undersized outside, had really no opportunity with Darcy hitting over.
Just manipulating the smaller block over on that side.
Yeah. I don't know if there is a small block in front of Darcy. Darcy hits over a lot of people.
Darcy back to serve, goes down the line. Collins, tight pass, saved by Walmer. Outside, Collins blocked at the net by Sheward.
Great block by Sheward.
Saved by Glenn. Collins rolls it over the top. You gotta love the long hair and stash shot that Collins just rolled down the line.
I don't even want to say what he looks like. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Josh Arroyo back to serve 15, looking at 19. Arroyo, the freshman from Mission Viejo, California. 6'9" middle hand pass by Tangatur. Sheward goes over Tangatur, dug by Bianchi, bumps it. Collins just finds the empty real estate on the broken play. 16 served at 19, a huge broken play there, and Irvine had an easy ball in the corner. And
not sure why Cole Power ran away from it.
Looked like a little miscommunication there as Arroyo floats it down the line. Hanno on the pass. Sheward back to Darcy. Darcy denied by Longcar, just dropping his hands into the angle. And like that, the Gauchos pulled in 2 at 6'9", true freshman middle from Mission Viejo High School. Floats it deep line, and wisely letting it go is Akil Tangatur. So Irvine buys a break after that run, and checking in for the first time for UC Irvine, Gustavo Gomes, the 6'2" serving specialist from right down the street, Corona Del Mar High School, former teammate of Jaden Glenn.
Absolutely. Gustavo is one of the leaders of the UC Irvine team. You know, he's like a 5th coach on the team, you know.
Gomes with a great volley IQ. Floats one deep and floats that one long. Point going to UCSB. So back in comes Tangatur for Gomes. And Jack Walmer back to the service line for the Gauchos. Walmer with 11 assists, 2 digs, and a couple block assists so far. Steps back to the service line. Looks like he's hitting a spin, goes down the line towards Power. Sheward sets middle to Grigoriev, dug by Glenn, picked up by Court, outside over towards Collins, and he sneaks it inside the block of Grigoriev. What is making Sam Collins, the quote undersized outside, so effective right now?
That ball hit late, and they went up kind of passively, didn't get after it. If you wait and just go hard on the play, you could make that block. He's gonna hit it half the hands. He's gonna try and hit it underneath.
Ball's passed by Power. Seward sets outside to Hanno. Hanno hammers, dug by Court. Saved by Walmer. Bumps at the left pin. Collins rolls it deep over towards Power. Set by Seward. Hanno off the block, covered by Walmer. Looking is Glenn. Sets right side to Bianchi. Bianchi off the block and out of play. And we are tied at 20 all. I like how Jaden Glenn's been stepping in on that second ball.
I'm telling you, he is a tremendous defender. That's what he adds right there, is that toughness. Step in front of the ball, make the play. His verbal and vocal leadership is great, and you're seeing that comeback aggressiveness by the Gauchos.
Well, that's a former setter, now libero, now for CDM, I do believe. Associate head coach. The assistant coach is Randy DeWeese, new to the coaching staff this year. Great add-on. And Jonas Seif, one of my favorite setters during his undergrad years.
They're all good guys, just like Rick McLaughlin. They're really a pleasure to interview and be with and just enjoy the game of volleyball.
16th season, you know, Rick McLaughlin actually head coach David Niffen when he's at Loyola Marymount.
Right before they dropped the program.
Walmer over towards Tengatur. Seward sets Hanno. Hanno sizzles it down the line.
Oh, wow. That was quicker than... He changed the whole pace. Just changed the pace and sped it up so much.
21 serving at 20. Walmer lucky to get his hands up. See, he's coming in fast
He
off the serve.
He almost didn't. Because you've got to respect Hanno's off-speed shots he's so good at. Which, by the way, he hasn't shown today.
Bump set to the left side. Bianchi off the block. Dug by Tengatur. Seward in pursuit outside to Hanno. Hanno cracks it down the line and pops it coffin corner. All lines officials and the R2 all pointing in. I don't think there'll be a challenge on that one.
Well, all the Gauchos were pointing out, though.
22 serving to 20. Grigoriev back to serve for Irvine. Grigoriev getting some really good swings on his spin serve. And this one goes in the net.
You had to jinx him, huh?
I know.
Just quiet. Guy's throwing a no-hitter. You don't say anything. Come on.
I know. I'm all about doing the things you're not supposed to do.
No, you're not.
21 serving to 22. Collins back to serve. Collins hitting 600 since checking in. Good pass by Tengatur. Seward on the shoot over to Campbell. And busting out the whooping stick is Connor Campbell on the crush.
An interesting thing that they're doing is Seward's lobbing a little bit higher than you would, so Campbell can't hit it as quickly, but what it allows him to do is see the court hit around the block like that.
Seward goes cross court, pass by Collins. Walmer outside the court. Court sending fire in the hole. You can see that seam between Darcy and Campbell.
When there's a seam, and Darcy needs to get better at the blocking at this, is when you have a seam, the line blocker drops into the seam and takes that shot away.
That wasn't a seam, that was a black hole. That was a big
hole, yeah.
Lawn car, tough serve over to Hanno off the net. Seward goes back to Hanno. Hanno tips over the block, and it goes to the finesse game.
And who did he tip in front of again?
I'm not going to say
Is that a middle blocker? Oh, okay.
And we have set point served at 22, and that was the French eclair shot. And back to serve Hanno at the service line for the Anteaters. Hanno, high toss, cracks it cross court. Ball's passed off net, saved by Walmer to Bianchi. Bianchi denied by Tengatur. Campbell and Darcy. Irvine goes up 2 sets to third set, and that's Max Grigoriev with serve for the Anteaters. Grigoriev, a solid serving night. He's got 3 aces, nabbing his total of 20 on the year as Bianchi takes a first rip, and Campbell and Hanno with a return package.
Hanno did a great job. He just waited on him and then just turned that left arm, came down and hit just on the way down.
Grigoriev back to serve again for Irvine. Grigoriev having a great offensive night as well. 4 kills, 0 errors, hitting .667. Overpass, and Seward dug by Glenn. Back to Collins. Collins goes off the top of the block, dug by Grigoriev. Seward back to Darcy. Darcy off the block, point going to Irvine.
Great dig by Jaden Glenn. How he got that, I'll never know.
When you said great dig, Charlie, I thought you were going to say great dig by Connor Campbell because he actually dug that ball, a middle blocker.
Of course.
But yeah, again, I say a light night of volleyball, but for UC Irvine, this is the 4th match in 7 days. For Santa Barbara, this is their 3rd match in 6 days. So a lot of work for these Big West teams.
Well, and that we're coming into that time in the season. All the Big West teams are now starting to play each other. This is when it really, really counts. Same thing with the MPSF. Now you have all those teams playing each other.
We do have to mention UC Irvine starting off last week with a huge win over #1 Grand Canyon. Grigoriev to court, pass off net, saved by Walmer, right side to Bianchi, dug by Darcy. Sheward goes back to Darcy, banging off the top is Darcy. And I think that ball would have been out. I don't think there's a touch on it, but Cord committed.
Touch on it, yeah, the Cord made the touch, which caused the deflection, which took the ball away from Cord.
3 serving to 0 here in our 3rd set. Grigoriev on the spin, goes cross court, misses a couple feet wide. But Irvine again, upset #1 Grand Canyon. Comes back, plays Lewis, number 14. They get upset in 5. And then just go to as far as you can go against Hawaii on Sunday night.
Battling in a 6-2. Darcy didn't play that night against Hawaii. So Joe Carlos and Brett Sheward were setting and worked really, really well together.
Ball's dug by Walmer, off the attack by Campbell, saved by Court, free ball by Bianchi. Power on the free ball pass to Sheward in the middle of Campbell's favorite target. One hand dig by Glenn, saved by Court. Down ball by Bianchi, spins it but goes way too long. High and inside, and a very high bump set.
Yeah, that's a hard ball to hit. I'm really impressed with Jaden Glenn's digging though. He's in the way of the ball all the time.
Brett Sheward steps back to the service line, goes cross court to Collins. Ball's passed off net, saved by Walmer. Roll shot off the cable, pancake save, but Bianchi ends up getting the kill. Point going to Santa Barbara.
Again, you've got 3 blockers up. That's the job of the libero to slide down below that block.
Great attempt by Power, but great shot by Bianchi, which Coach Rick McLaughlin is just so excited to have on his team this year. Worked his way over through OCC, and here he is starting for the Gauchos.
He was there last year, and he had some good games, but he didn't play as consistently as he has now. He's got just this tremendous arm, and he's just starting to mature as an athlete.
5 serving at 2. Hilaire Hanno back to serve. Hanno has 8 kills, and it's a low night for him, only hitting .263.
Yep.
Hanno chops it and gets his first ace of the night. Point going to the Anteaters, and for Hanno on the season, that's ace number 36. 137 for career. And checking in for the first time is Patrick Kane, the 6'4" sophomore outside. Not from Manhattan Beach, but from Campbell, California, and Mountain View High School.
He's a foreigner. They got a foreigner on their lineup.
Kane seen some limited time for the Gauchos. He's got 64 kills on the season, averaging 1.88 kills per set. That means Court's off the court, and Hanno steps back to serve for Irvine. Hanno delivers down the line, pass by Collins. Walmer gets underneath it out to Kane, and he tools the outside block of Darcy. And Darcy's mad at himself because he knew he had the good read, but his hands are...
That's just a different shot. No one has made that shot yet today. Just took an open hand into the block and out. And next time, Darcy will probably react and turn that ball in.
Owen Loncar back to serve, goes cross court to Hanno. Sheward shoots it out to Tangatura, tipped by the block, dug by Walmer, and we got a lift. Arruya had sticky forearms on that one. The ball just rolled and stuck to his hands.
All 6'8" of him turned around, still being 6'8", and this thing just rotated up his arm.
Connor Campbell serving.
Look how far in they are. Santa Barbara's way about 10-foot line, lined up at the 10-foot line here.
Hand pass by Collins. Walmer in the middle of Arruya, and Arruya hammers it off of Grigoriev. Gosh, he's got such a quick swing, Charlie.
Very quick swing. How about the upside on him? And his long arms and extremely coachable, and he's got a very, very big upside.
Jess Bianchi to serve it up for the Gauchos. Goes cross court, taking a tour on the pass. Sheward in the middle of Grigoriev, and it's kind of a great tit-for-tat battle between the middles here.
They've both hit it. They both hit balls that should have been roofed, and both of them have gone through the opponent.
Will Darcy stepping back to the service line for UC Irvine. Darcy, 8 kills, hitting 158, 4 aces and 5 digs. Serves that one long. That's a low productivity night for Darcy. He's been on fire, hitting over 400 in every match he's made an appearance in.
I think that Santa Barbara's really slowed him down, blocking-wise.
Patrick Kane back to serve for the Gauchos. 5 looking at 8. Little drag step approach, passed by Heno. Sheward on the 40 to Heno, covered by Glenn. Walmer back to Bianchi. Bianchi dug up and over, actually a joust, and it goes outside the antenna. Point going to the Gauchos as they pull them a pair at 6-8.
There's number 1, Jaden Glenn making the play.
Gotta love the effort he's putting out tonight. I mean, Coach Rick McLaughlin's been going between he and Wallace because they're evenly talented.
Yep, it's a nice problem to have.
And in the middle is Grigoriev, and he drills it off of Kane. Point.
Again, instead of seeing that quick, really fast, quick, to, getting it up high, kind of leaves it up, hangs it up there, and lets Grigoriev figure out what he wants to do with the ball.
For Grigoriev, that's kill number 6, who's got 0 errors, hitting 750. Tangatur chopped across court. Kane on the pass. Walmer out to Collins. Collins, one-hand dig by Tangatur. Darcy on the set, rolled over the block, dug by Glenn. Walmer sets middle to Arruya, and they're calling it in, and we're going to get a challenge here by Coach David Niffen. Just as quickly as the referee called in, Niffen up on his feet with views than what the TV Sport has on the replay. So we have known to be wrong, and we admit it openly. As Grigoriev knocks it down off of Collins. 2 blockers, yep.
Goes right to back left, and who was there?
A middle, yes, I know.
Wow.
You got middles are people too, Charlie.
I know. I hope they don't get their feelings hurt.
He did get a touch on it, though, Charlie.
Yeah, he did. That's true.
Grigoriev, the other middle for Irvine, back to serve. Cracks it, passed by Kane. Walmer in the middle, long car, covered by Glenn. Backs it to Bianchi. Bianchi drops it into the corner. Point going to UCSB. Living on the edge on that shot.
It's a good shot.
Another great Aerosmith song, I know. That goes back a long way. 8 serving to 10 as Walmer goes back to serve for the Gauchos. Walmer 17 assists and 6 digs, goes towards Heno. Sheward sets middle to Campbell, and Campbell uncontested. I mean, wisely, Collins went up on Sheward to defend against the dump.
Sheward did a great job of, faking like he was going to jump and hit it. And then he just got it out of his hands to Campbell with the seam in the block.
Sheward back to serve at 11-8. Top spin pass by Collins, set by Walmer, out to Bianchi off the top of the block, and Tangatur unable to get his legs underneath him. 9 serving 11.
When you look at him, you see him going high up off that hand. A lot of times, especially in the years past, middle back would play 5 feet behind the back line just for that ball high up off the block.
Collins back to serve. He goes into the net. Point going to UCI. Collins, which as I mentioned, is still error-free. He's hitting .429 for the match since checking in. That brings Heno back to serve, hitting .273, 9 kills. Heno goes cross-court on the chopper, passed by Kane. Walmer back to Bianchi, tipped it with the right hand, picked it by Tangatur. Sure, goes against the grain, over to Darcy, off the block, dug by Collins. Walmer back sets Bianchi. Bianchi dug by Sheward. Bump set by Power, right side Darcy, off the block. Collins on the double hand dig. Back set by Glenn, off the block goes Kane picked up by Stewart, bump set by Power, and Darcy cracks it wide. Point going to Santa Barbara. That is the give everything you got rally.
That was a long rally.
The marathon rally of the night. Point going to Santa Barbara, 10 serving 12. Collins with a lot of digs out of the middle back as Loncar goes down the line to Tangator. Stewart over to Campbell, the unstoppable force right down the middle.
Stewart held the middle, jump set, and then barely got it off. Campbell went up and turned and looked and bounced it.
That brings Connor Dahm in for Connor Campbell, but here's this for a stat line. Connor Campbell, 6 kills, 0 errors, 750. And while you're at it, throw on 6 block assists.
Well, and then throw in Max Grigoriev, 4 kills, no errors, 6. That means your middles are 9, no errors for 11.
Great serve by Dom, passed by Glenn, outside of Kane. Kane denied, but covered by Aruya. Picked up by Tangator, back set to Darcy. Darcy off the block. Hand pass goes over by Grigoriev, and he'll call that a double kill there. Wasn't clean, but it fell.
That really wasn't clean. Surprised they let that go.
Well, I guess is a simultaneous contact.
I would say pull your thumb out of that ball. I was still stuck in it.
Oh, I thought that was a hot dog from the concession stand there.
Yeah.
Connor Dahm back to the service line, 14 serving to 10, off the cable. Collins on the pass. Walmer outside of Kane. Kane with a tip by the block. Smart play because Darcy was already pressing so far over.
That's his third push shot kill that Kane had. That's what he's doing on the left, is just pushing it into that block. Got to wait on it. He's too early. Instead, just wait on it, get up there late on it.
11 serving to 14. Jess Bianchi back to serve. Bianchi rips it into the net. He's definitely not a Jess Bianchi, or not having a Jess Bianchi kind of night, but that leads into a timeout March 30th at 6 p.m. in the Brent.
Should tell the listening audience that they take that big break because that's finals week. And that those are the final, everyone's got finals that week. And same thing in Santa Barbara.
And as you've seen there, you've seen Jess Bianchi on the bombing run, and that's where you're used to seeing normally.
Yeah, yeah. He's got such a heavy arm, such a fast arm.
He has taken on triple blocks early on, or actually throughout the season, and he's been winning out because he's the second best hitter in the nation.
Yep.
Kane back to serve, it goes into the net, and Coach Rick McLaughlin was saying earlier, when their serve's on, they're on, and their serve isn't exactly on tonight.
No. They've gone in streaks when it's been on.
Akel Tangator serving it up for UC Irvine. Tangator, 3 kills, hitting .333, 5 digs and 2 block assists. 6'3" outside hitter from Pacific Palisades serves that one long. Point going to the Gauchos. Josh Aruya stepping back to serve, 3 kills, hitting .286, 4 block assists.
Now, Santa Barbara, this is common. Santa Barbara will move their 3 blockers in front of the area that Aruya is going to serve to, kind of the cover. Well, he serves over the top of it.
Hand pass by Heno. Stewart in the middle to Grigoriev, and he hits it wide. I thought maybe that was in, and Coach David Niffen gets up, and he's going to risk his second challenge of the night. He's down to 1, and they're going to challenge that the ball is in. So it's a CRS challenge by head coach.
To expose that, you let the referee make their call.
Well, I think she's made the call here already, and we see in our view, the end line view, that even with the shadow that was in. So the challenge is successful by Coach David Niffen of the Anteaters. Point is reversed. Irvine leading 16, no, actually it should be 17-13. If you're following along on the stat tracker, need to correct that, but it's 17-13 Irvine as Max Grigoriev goes back to serve. Max Grigoriev, 9 kills, 0 errors, hitting .818. Little top spin pass by Kane. Walmer outside of Collins. Collins off the top of the block, and that's another error-free hitter right there. Is Sam Collins, 4 kills, 0 errors. He's hitting .500. Who says
And
he's
you
undersized?
said he was undersized. I didn't say that.
I heard he's a pretty good DJ. If you jump onto his Instagram feed,
sure,
no
yeah.
volleyball, all DJ.
He looks like a DJ. Look at him.
That, or he could be in the movie Young Guns. 14 serving to 17. We're wiping some sweat off the floor as we're awaiting Jack Walmer at the service line. Walmer, 22 assists, 6 digs. Goes down the line to Heno. Sheward sets outside to Heno on the give and go and hammers it, rocking it off of Walmer, who just landed his feet on defense.
He hit it. It was in. And Walmer was, about 2 feet in from the sideline. It was to Walmer's right, which is hard to control. See where it hits his right arm.
18-14, Sheward over to Glenn. Walmer back over to Collins, and why not? He's got the hot hand, and he has his first error as that ball goes long.
I think Heno dropped his hands because Sam Collins has been hitting over the top of the hands. Heno just dropped him right before he swung. Swinged.
19-14, Glenn on the pass. Walmer back over towards Kane on the back row, but it's a low set, so he just keeps it in play. And we had some low sets on the other side of net by Sheward, or a late approach by Campbell.
That was a free ball overpass. That was the issue. And then Sheward tried to save it and didn't get enough of his hand on the ball.
Collins back to serve, still hitting .333 with 4 kills. 2 digs and a block assist. Collins winds up, goes over towards Power. Sheward shoots, sets over to Campbell, and unstoppable is Connor Campbell. 8 kills now. Still hitting 600 on the night. I should put him at 625, I do believe, as Alir Heno steps back to serve for the Anteaters. Heno 10 kills, hitting .304. Winds up, goes cross court. Glenn on a great pass. Walmer outside to Kane, blocked by Darcy. Picked up by Collins, set by Walmer. Kane blocked again by Darcy. And Darcy with a little 10-finger discount on the second attempt. Darcy blocking Kane back to back. That's a great disciplined block by Darcy.
Very disciplined. I was waiting for that open hand tip shot, and I think you waited on that, which allowed the block.
21-16, Heno winds up, chops it off of Kane. Hand set by Glenn. Kane swings high off the block, covered by Power on the ricochet. Bianchi on the hand pass, Bianchi on the swing, and he hits it long, point going to UC Irvine, and that ricochet from Heno to Power. Love to see that replay.
That was a tremendous play.
Now, know if that was intentional by Power, but he got it up off that dig by Heno. Previous play.
Yeah, the previous play. But
22 serving to 15. Heno back to serve again for Irvine. Heno hits that one long. Point going to Santa Barbara. Going back to serve is Owen Loncar for UCSB. Loncar, the 6'3" sophomore middle, or outside middle from Pacific Palisades. Loncar spins it down the line. Tough serve, overpass, and winding up on the swing. Patrick Kane, who knows what to do with a one-hit wonder. Loncar with a lot of pace on his jump serve. He comes in with a slow approach on his jump serve.
Oh, and that's 1 to 5. That's the shortest area he can go to, and he put a lot of spin on that.
Cracks it down the line towards Tangatur. Sheward back to Darcy. Darcy hammers it off of Loncar. Darcy with a little beat down out of the backside makes it 23-17.
You know, Loncar was right there. He was close to digging that ball, as hardly driven as it was.
He definitely took one for the team, but that was a great swing by Darcy. Hand pass by Collins, back bump set by Walmer, and he's denied. Double dismissal by Grigoriev and Tangatur. We've got match point Irvine serving to 17. Substitution Beck Weber in for Akil Tangatur. Campbell back to serve.
Look how far Santa Barbara's in, way in.
Hand pass by Glenn Walmer in the middle to Arruya, and Arruya drops the rock in front of his counterpart middle.
Yeah.
Tangatur back in for Weber. Bianchi back to serve. 18 serving a match point, number 2. Bianchi on the night. 13 kills. Ball's overpass, picked up by Glenn. In the middle to Arruya, and Arruya drops it off the one-hand block of Grigoriev.
Nice swing by Arruya. Again, I keep talking about Jaden Glenn, but that's what a libero is supposed to do. Jaden Glenn's back left. That pass went to front right where Bianchi would have had to pass it. Jaden Glenn runs it down, passes it, and lets Bianchi get outside to hit.
And got double contact on the set by Power. Whole lot of spin off that dig, and Power tried to take it with his hands. So no shock there was a double on that, because that thing had a lot of spins, and we got remarkable performances.
He's the current Big West Offensive Player of the Week.
That is correct. But with that being said, I'd like to say huge prayers and good thoughts going to Spiros Hakas of Hawaii. Went down this last week in the match against Hawaii, and he was definitely in the conversation for Player of the Year, but a wonderful person.
Wonderful player, clutch player, very successful player.
20 serving a match point, number 4. Bianchi back to the service line, goes over towards Tangatur. Sheward outside of Tangatur. Tangatur denied, covered by Sheward. Bump set by Power, right side to Darcy. Darcy off the block and out of play for point, set, and match as UC Irvine defeats the Gauchos of UC Santa Barbara 3 sets to 0, 25-14,